여러분 안녕하십니까?
Hello, everyone.
그라시아스 음악이 너무너무 좋습니다.
The music of the Gracias is so good.
우리가 정말 이런 음악을 이렇게 들을 수 있는 게 얼마나 감사한 일인지
And
모르겠습니다.
I cannot say how thankful we are that we could listen to this kind of music.
오늘 저에게도 누가복음 제 16장에 있는 말씀입니다.
And tonight again, we'll look at the words of Luke chapter 16.
16장 19절부터 다시 읽겠습니다.
We'll once again read from Luke chapter 16, verse 19.
누가복음 16장을 찾으시기 바랍니다.
Please open to Luke chapter 16.
누가복음 16장 19절부터 31절 말씀까지 부자와 나사로에 관한 이야기를 읽습니다.
Okay, we will read from Luke chapter 16, from verse 19 through 31 about the rich man and Lazarus. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus which was laid at his gate full of sores, desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, and being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise while Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham saith unto him, They have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
감사합니다.
Okay, thank you.
옛날에 중국에 아주 깊은 산 속에 그 어머니와 아들이 살고 있었습니다.
A long time ago in China, in the very deep mountains, a mother and son lived together.
이제 그 모자는 너무너무 가난해서 이제 아들이 매일 산에 가서 나무를 해서 가서 이제 팔아서 하루하루를 살고 있었습니다.
And the mother and son, they were very, very poor. So every day the son would go into the mountains and hew the wood and sell the wood, and that was how they lived daily.
산에 가서 나무를 해서 이제 시장 가서 팔면 그 가지고 그냥 쌀을 사고 하루 겨우 살 수 있는 형편이 됐습니다.
And so they would go to the markets and sell the wood, and that was barely enough for them to buy rice and get by day.
그렇기 때문에 비가 온다고 해서 나무를 하러 안 갈 수가 없었습니다.
And so even though it rains, they have no choice but to go hew the wood.
이제 눈이 온다고 해도 나무를 해야 했습니다.
Even though it snows, they would have to go and hew the wood.
그렇지 않으면 그들은 굶기 때문에요.
If they don't do that, then they're going to starve that day.
어머니는 이제 아주 나이가 많고 이렇게 집에서 일을 못하고 집안 이제 일만 돌보고 있습니다.
But the mother, she was very old and she couldn't work and she could only do homekeeping.
어머니에게 이제 소원이 있었습니다.
And the mother, she had a wish.
이제 아들이 나이가 들어서 결혼할 때가 됐는데 결혼하려면 돈이 없기 때문에 아무도 이 아들에게 시집을 올려온 사람이 없어요.
The son is getting older and now she wants that he would get married, but because they had no money at all, nobody wanted to marry him.
이제 아들은 매일 아침 산에 나무를 하러 가고
The son went to the mountains every morning to get the wood.
어머니는 이제 집에서 있으면서 늘 생각 하나가 있습니다.
And the mother always stayed home and she would always think,
빨리 돈을 모을 수 있으면 그 아들을 장가를 보내서 아들이 행복하게 사는 걸 보고 죽고 싶었습니다.
only if I could save up some money, then I could get my son married and see him live happily, and then I'd want to die.
이제 그런데 정말 그건 꿈과 같은 이야기죠. 그게 도저히 이루어질 수가 없지요.
But that was only like a dream. It could not be.
어느 날도 이제 아들은 나무를 하러 산에 갔습니다.
And one day, once again, the son went up to the mountains to hew the wood.
이제 그 집에 마당이 없는데 어머니가 이제 마당을 비로 쓸기 시작했어요.
And then there was the yard of their house, and the mother began to sweep her yard.
근데 그 마당 한가운데 좀 많은 돌이 있는데
And then in the middle of the yard was a small rock.
그 돌이 자꾸 이렇게 발에 부딪혀서 자꾸 불편했어요.
And she kept on running into that rock with her foot, and so it was very uncomfortable.
그렇지만 그 큰 돌을 어떻게 뺄 만한 힘이 없어 그냥 두고 있었는데
But she didn't have the strength to remove that rock, so she just left it there.
그날도 이제 막 마당을 쓰며 돌 위를 이제 쓸어 내려갔습니다.
And as that day as well, she was sweeping in the yard and she swept along that rock as well.
근데 그 돌에서 그날 이상한 빛이 나는 거예요.
But from that rock there was a strange light.
어머니 그냥 대수롭지 않게 생각했는데 보니까 그 돌이 약간 색깔이 이상했습니다.
The mother didn't think much of it, but she looked closely and the rock's color was something strange.
어머니 다시 돌을 쓸어봤어, 구이를 쓸어봤습니다.
And then once again the mother swept around the area of that
돌
rock.
위에는 흙이 이제 나가면서 돌이 약간 색이 드러나기 시작했어요.
And then as the dust came off of the rock, the color of the rock began to show itself.
어머니가 이 돌이 아무래도 이상하다고 생각을 했어요.
And the mother thought there's something wrong with this rock.
세숫대야에다가 물을 담아가지고 돌 위를 부으면서 돌을 물로 씻어봤습니다.
And so she got a wash basin, filled it with water, and brought that water and began to clean that rock.
깜짝 놀란 것은 큰 돌이 아니라 금덩어리였습니다.
And so what really surprised her was that this was not just a big rock, it was a big piece of gold.
어머니는 얼른 밖에 대문을 잠그고 마당에 아무 들어오지 못하게 했어요.
Mother quickly locked the front gates so that nobody could enter her yard.
그 큰 금덩어리를 어떻게 해야 할 줄을 몰랐어요.
And she had no idea what to do with this big piece of gold.
그래서 제 어머니는 그 금덩어리 밑을 계속 파들어갔어요.
And then the mother kept on digging beneath that rock, that
이제 그
gold.
호미로 밑을 파고 한참 팠어요.
And with a hoe, she kept on digging and digging and dug for a while under that gold.
이제 밑을 파고 나는데 그 금덩어리 밑으로 다시 내리고
And then she dug under that gold and pushed that gold down.
그 위에 다시 흙을 덮어야 마당 편편하게 만들었어요.
And then filled the top up with the dirt and made that yard all flat again.
그리고 이제 그 마루에 올라 앉아 있는데 막 가슴이 쿵쿵거리기 시작했어요.
And then she sat on her patio and her heart began to pound.
저 큰 금덩어리
That big piece of gold.
이제 막 별별 생각이 다 떠오르는.
Now all kinds of thoughts were coming to her.
하루 종일 심장이 멋지라고 계속 쿵쿵거렸어요.
And all day long her heart was pounding. It would not stop pounding.
이제 밥맛이 없어졌습니다.
And then she lost her appetite
이제 잠이 잘 오지 않습니다.
and she couldn't fall asleep.
제 어머니는 밤낮 금덩어리 생각만 하는 거죠.
And day and night all the mother thought about was that
이제
gold.
막 별별 생각이 다 떠오르는 거예요.
And all kinds of thoughts came to her mind.
아들은 그걸 모릅니다.
And the son does not know this.
아, 어머니 무슨 걱정 있는 것 같아요.
Hey, mother, you look like you're worried about something.
야, 내가 무슨 걱정이 있냐?
Hey, what would I be worried about?
돈이 없어 걱정이지.
I'm just worried that we have no money.
이렇게 날 잘생긴 아들과 산 무슨 걱정이 있겠니? 걱정 없다.
I live with my son who serves me so well. What would I be worried about? I'm not
어머니
worried.
진짜 괜찮으세요?
Mother, are you really okay?
아, 내가 괜찮지.
Hey, of course I'm okay.
그러면서도 그 마음에 금덩어리가 막 두렵고 근심이 됐어요.
And even saying so, she was so worried and concerned about that gold.
하루가 지나고 이틀이 지났습니다.
One day, 2 days passed.
어머니는 금덩어리 점점 이제 몸이 정말 어려워지기 시작했어요.
And so continually, she began to feel so uncomfortable because of this
그
gold.
어머니가 어느 날 생각을 했습니다.
And one day, the mother thought,
만일에 저 금덩어리가 금이라는 걸 아들에게 알리면
if I let my son know that that is a piece of gold,
아들이 얼마나 기뻐할까?
then how happy would my son be?
당장에 저 금을 끄집어내서 금덩어리를 깨겠지.
He would immediately pull that gold out and break that gold.
그래서 한 덩어리를 이제 가져가서 시장 가서 팔아서
And he will take one piece of it, take it to the market and sell it,
이제 집도 새로 잘 짓고
and build a brand new nice house,
그리고 이제 가구도 갖추고
and get some new furniture,
좋은 옷도
and
가지고
buy some new clothes.
그리고 이제 행복하게 살겠지.
And then he will live happily.
이제 매일 어머니는 이제 그 생각만 계속하는 거예요.
And every day, that was what the mother thought about.
오늘은 여기까지만 생각하자.
Okay, this is it for my thoughts today.
그리고 자자.
Let me go to sleep.
잠이 오질 않습니다.
She wasn't falling asleep.
그래서 이제 누워 또 생각을 계속합니다.
And so she lay down and she continued to think.
그럼 예쁜 이제 며느리를 얻겠다.
oh, then I will get a beautiful
그
daughter-in-law.
며느리가 이제 우리 집에 와서
The daughter-in-law will come to our
우리
home,
집에 금덩어리가 있는 걸 알게 될
and when
때
she knows that we have a big piece of gold,
며느리 마음이 어떻게 달라질까?
how will my daughter-in-law's hearts change?
아, 며느리 친정이 어려면 우리 이렇게 부탁해서 금덩어리 좀 깨달라고 하겠지.
When her family falls into hardship, she'll ask for a piece of gold, asking for some help.
이제 어머니는 이제 그런 걱정이 됐습니다.
And so the mother began to worry about these things.
어느 날은 비가 왔습니다.
And one day it rained.